What is our project today? I've got to install a light trim. In fact, it's this one right here, okay, to that last light fixture to make them look like this. And the couple things, it was missing one of these. Okay, I took this off because I was going to take it to the store. I went to the store and I couldn't find the exact same thing. You know, they don't, I would have thought they would have sold these as individual, you know, 5-pack or something by somewhere where they have the eyeball light fixtures or the trims or anything like that, but they didn't. I found these at the hardware store, and it kind of mimics this, and I'm hoping one of those small ones is going to work or the big one. Okay, and I'll probably reuse that. Sounds simple enough, huh? Well, I mean, it is pretty simple. There's two little nibs up there after you take the light bulb down, that where you hook that on. But the funny thing is, see that trim? See how it looks off-white? Okay, and here's another one. Oh, this one doesn't look off-white, does it? This is white. And these two are white, right? Look at that. So whoever installed these, they didn't get all the same ones. This one's off-white. This little trim piece. See how it's just, it's kind of yellowed. And that's the color. And years ago, that was the only color that they ever had for white. Did you know that? This color here. And I've also got another one upstairs. I forget what I did up there, because see, I was trying to decide, where should I put the white ones, where should I put the off-white ones? See, this one's white. See how nice and bright and white that is? Okay. I didn't want this one. I didn't want this one up here. Everything up here is white. You know, I didn't want an off-white one up there. And so because I had two off-white ones, I could have decided to put them out here. I didn't want them out here. I wanted the nice bright ones here. Momi likes the bright white ones. And so when I transferred on down here, I put the nice bright white one there, and the two off-white ones are going to be in the hallway. And she usually goes out this door to the garage. And these two are less noticeable in the house, in the condo, than anywhere else, right? That's why I'm putting the two off-white ones here. And could I go to the store and get some different ones? I probably could, but see, even the trim, see how the trim on the inside is white? It's off-white on the outside. Who gives? Well, that's just how they did them. That's just how they did them. So there's a tip for you. When you're installing your eyeball lights, now see this one here? See how it's nice and white on the inside? It's off-white on the outside. When you're getting ready to install these, when you go to the store, make sure you get them all the same color, because I'm gonna think that you might be able to get off-white or white, but make sure you check at the store first. If they have both kinds, nowadays maybe they only have the white ones. I don't know. But that's for you to check out at the store. And if they got two colors, make sure you get the right ones. Is there a difference? Yes, of course there's a difference. Okay, so I'm going to take this bulb out right here, and I'll show you those little nibs I was talking about. I'll just get up there really quick and undo this. And I wanted to see if that was hot, and it's not, because this is an LED eyeball light, floodlight. And that's pretty slick. I like that. I'm going to have to go through the rest of the condo and see if they're LEDs like this one, because you want the LEDs. This one here, I'm gonna look on here. Oh man, my eyes, I got to squint on here. I don't know if I'm reading that right. I think it says 3 watts. I'm going to have to look at this a little bit more closely. Well, that's pretty amazing. I looked on here, 7.2 watts is the equivalent of the 60 watt or 65 watt incandescent bulbs from years ago, and these don't really heat up either. And only 7.2 watts per, you know, that's over 52 watts savings per bulb. And if you count up all the ones that you have, I mean, shoot, I've got 5 that I showed you, and at 50 some odd watts each, 250 watts. I mean, there's a lot of savings that you can get if you change everything to LEDs. Okay, and so let's just get you up here and show you those little nibs. See, usually they give you this little thing too. It's kind of like a little hook right there, but you don't want to use that, and most of them have that on both sides. You don't use that. Above that, there's just a little hook up there. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe I can zoom it in. That right there, that's where the spring gets put on. Okay, and there's one on this side up there, right up there. Okay, and you know, you can adjust this. If yours is too low or too high, you can adjust that. It's on a slide. See over on this side, got a wing nut there. You can loosen that up, and you can raise or lower this depending on what size bulbs you have and where you want them. I usually like to have the bulbs up just a little bit higher than the ceiling, and I think that's how these other ones are. Well, quite a bit higher. See how much higher that is? And that's kind of how I like that. Yeah, I don't want them down too low, you know. But you can make sure that all of yours are adjusted the same, so that all your bulbs are about the same. And all of these happen to be the LED bulbs. But I think that no, actually no. See, these are not LEDs. These are the regular ones. These are 65 watts each. These two right here. And we use these quite often, so I've got to make a mental note to change those. And I know these other ones are not like that. And you can get them in cool white or warm white. So when you look at the LEDs, make sure you figure out what you want. And I think this is an incandescent flood too. Yeah, see, I can just look at it and tell. And lots of times it might not be an incandescent. It might be a CFL that looks like a floodlight. And you look inside, and it's got the little twirly thing on the inside, and that tells you it's a CFL. Well, those aren't as energy efficient as the LEDs nowadays. Get the LEDs. So I know I've got to change those to LEDs. I'm gonna have to put that on my list. I'm glad I'm making this video because it's kind of like for myself too. Okay, I've got one, two, three. I've got 3 of those, and I want the 7 watt ones. And this is the LED, and I don't know if I'll be able to get the very same one. This one happens to be a Philips. You know, whatever hardware store you go to, you may get something different, but they should be about 7 watts. That's quite the savings. Okay. And if you are going to get those, look and see if you can get them in a 6-pack or a 12-pack, 10-pack, something like that, instead of a 2-pack or individually. Because usually if you can buy them in bulk, you can save money. Okay? So now I'm going to put these, I'm going to hook this on here and get that back up on the ceiling. Nice and easy. Now, speaking of these eyeballs, it's always a good idea when you're getting ready to paint your ceiling, don't just paint around that. Okay? Very simple to take down. Take your bulb out first, then you can get to your trim where these little spring-loaded goodies are. Okay? Just raise it up a little bit, and it'll come right off. Okay? And you want to do that too, because it's nice and easy to paint with a roller. You don't have to mess around and stop and start and then paint around each one of those with a paintbrush, because whenever you paint with a paintbrush, you can see the difference from the roller. See that sprinkler head right there? Can you see the ring around it? Ring around the collar? That's where I painted with a paintbrush. You see, you'd have that ring around all of your can lights if you didn't take your trim down, and your light fixtures, okay, and your ceiling fans and all that kind of stuff. I took everything down before I painted. That's really the best way to go. And lots of times this trim can be repositioned slightly after you get it up there. So after I get it up there, I put the light bulb in there, and then I might look at that straight up and see if the gap around the bulb is about the same all the way. And if I see it's pushed over to one side, maybe I can reposition this head or the trim just a hair one way or another, okay? Another reason not to paint around these, because if you paint around these with a paintbrush and then later on, you can never readjust these if you wanted to without repainting your ceiling and touching that up and all that kind of stuff, okay? There's a tip for you.